Good morning, everybody. Thanksgiving 2020. I hope this morning has started off great for you, and I know that you've got a lot of things just to be thankful for. So I say good morning to all of you. Speaking of 2020, what a year to quote, what a year to live by. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 18, that says, in everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. In everything, in all things. I ran across a cute poem from Denise Rogers that goes something like this. Thanksgiving is my favorite feast. The table set, the napkins creased. We always have a great big crowd with uncles, aunts, and children loud. The grown-ups shoo us to our chairs with pushing hands and parrot stares. We wait to eat, but this part's quirky. Our main dish is never, ever turkey. Our grandpa, who does not eat this bird, on this he gave his solemn word. Years ago, when he was young, he vowed that it would not pass his tongue. As a boy, he lived beside the rolling Polish countryside. The turkeys, and this is so unkind, would chase and bite his small behind. So even though it's quite the norm, he shuns the bird in every form. I understand how Grandpa feels and how it changed his lifelong meals. But me, I'd rather take a tack, and once a year, I'd bite them back. So all of you today that's having a wonderful meal and eating turkey, I say to all of you, bite back. These are some true stories from the Butterball Turkey Hotline, where people just call up and ask advice, get advice on how to cook a turkey from the experts. There was a woman that called the 1-800 number to find out how long it would take her to roast her turkey. And to answer the question, the talk line home host asked, how much does the bird weigh? The woman responded, I don't know. He's still outside running around. There was a time that a lady was picking through the frozen turkeys at the grocery store, but couldn't find one that was big enough and suitable for her large family. And so she calls the stock boy over and asks him, she said, do these turkeys get any bigger? And he said, no, ma'am, they're all dead. This comes from the book, Every Excuse in the Book, 714 Ways to Say It's Not My Fault, written by Craig Boldman and Pete Matthews. They say that it is a silver lining to that haunting question, you burnt the turkey? So they give 100 or they give a dozen reasons to be thankful that the turkey is burned. Salmonella won't be a concern. No one will overeat. Everybody will think it's Cajun blackened. Uninvited guests will think twice about coming next year. Another reason, your cheese, broccoli, lima bean casserole will gain newly found appreciation. Pets won't pester you for scraps. The smoke alarm was due for a test anyway. Carving the bird will provide a great workout. After dinner, the guys can go to the backyard and play football with it. The less turkey Uncle George eats, the less likely he will to walk around with his pants unbuttoned. You'll get to the desserts quicker. and you won't have to face 3 weeks of turkey sandwiches. This is another awesome poem entitled, "The Turkey Popped Out of the Oven." The turkey popped out of the oven and rocketed into the air. It knocked every plate off the table and partially demolished a chair. It ricocheted into a corner and burst with a deafening boom, then splattered all over the kitchen, completely obscuring the room. It stuck to the walls and to the windows. It totally coated the floor. There was turkey attached to the ceiling where there never had been turkey before. It blanketed every appliance. It smeared every saucer and bowl. There wasn't a way to stop it. The turkey was out of control. I scraped and scraped with displeasure and thought with chagrin as I mopped that I would never again stuff a turkey with popcorn that had never been popped. Just some cute, humorous Thanksgiving stories and quotes. I read a heart-rendering story about Thanksgiving from a teacher, Mrs. Klein. When Mrs. Klein told her first graders to draw a picture of something that they were thankful for, she thought of these little children who lived in bad neighborhoods. They actually had something to be thankful for. She knew that most of the class would draw pictures of turkeys and Thanksgiving tables spread. That was what she believed that most of them would draw. And so what took her back was Douglas's picture. Douglas was a little lonely boy and likely to be found in the shadow of Mrs. Klein as they went outside for recess. Douglas' drawing, when he drew, was simply this: a hand. But the question was, from all the rest of the class, whose hand was it? And so the students tried to guess whose hand it was. One student said, "I think it must be the hand of God that gives us food." That was a good guess, wasn't it? Another student said a farmer because they grow turkeys. Another said it looks like a policeman for they protect us. And I think one little girl said, who was always serious, that it's supposed to be all the hands who help us because Douglas could only draw just one of them. Mrs. Klein she had almost forgotten Douglas in her pleasure of getting all these answers from the other students. And so she went to his desk, bent over him, and she asked Douglas, "Douglas, whose hand did you draw?" Douglas, with his head bowed, mumbled these words, "It's yours, teacher." And then Mrs. Klein recalled how often she would take Douglas by the hand as they went outside for recess or to other areas of the school. And she did this often with other teachers, but that meant so much to Douglas, her hand grabbing his. And so in this moment of Thanksgiving reflection, he reflected on the thing that meant so much to him was his teacher's hand. Perhaps she began to think, she reflected, perhaps this was her Thanksgiving and everybody else's Thanksgiving, not for the material things that had been given to her and to us, but the small ways that we give something back to others. God, help us to be thankful for the seemingly small things in our lives. Another story, a blind boy sat on the steps of a building with his hat in his hat by his feet. And he held up a sign that said, "I'm blind, would you please help?" And so there was a few coins in the hat. But this man walked by and he took a few coins out of his pocket, dropped them into the hat. And then he took the sign and turned it backward, and he wrote some more words on the backside. He put the sign back so that everybody that was walking by could see the new words that he had written. Soon the hat began to just fill up. A lot more people were giving to this blind boy. That afternoon, the man that had changed the sign came back just to see how things were going. The boy recognized the footsteps, and he asked, he said, "Were you the one who changed my sign this morning? And what did you write on it?" The man said, "Well, I only wrote the truth. I said what you said, but just in a different way. I wrote, today is a beautiful day, and I can't see it." Both signs told people that the boy was blind. But the first sign simply said he was blind. The second sign told people how lucky and blessed they were to not be blind. So the moral of that story is just be thankful for what you have. Be creative, be innovative, think differently, think positively. When life gives you 100 things to cry about, and this year we've experienced a lot of those, as in years past. When life gives you 100 things to cry about, just realize that you've got 1,000 reasons to smile. Face your past without regret. Handle your present with confidence, and prepare for the future without fear. Because, number one, we've got a God who is by our side, and for every reason that we have to cry, there's 10 more reasons why we can smile, rejoice, and have victory, and just have a heart full of thanksgiving. Luke chapter 17, verse 11, that came to pass as he went to Jerusalem, speaking of Jesus. He passed through the midst of Samaria and Galilee, and as he entered into a certain village, there met him 10 men that were lepers, which stood afar off. They lifted up their voices and said, "Jesus, Master, have mercy on us." And when he saw them, he said to them, "Go show yourselves unto the priest." And it came to pass as they went, they were cleansed. Verse 15, the one that we key on so often, and rightly so. And one of them, when he saw that he was healed, turned back and with a loud voice glorified God. He fell on his face. He fell at his feet. He gave him thanks, for he was a Samaritan. And Jesus answered, "Where are the 10 that were cleansed? Or were there not 10 that was cleansed? Where are the 9? There was not found that returned to give God glory, save this stranger." And he said unto him, Jesus speaking, "Arise, go thy way, for thy faith has made thee whole." And today, as well as every other day, we need to do this 365. It isn't a one day of praise a year. It needs to be a year of days of praise, of worship, adoration, gratitude. But today, as well as every other day, I want to be like the one that returned, to express my thanks to God for all that he has done for me. So today I just want to say I'm thankful for my family. Lynn and Lauren, my mom and dad, Lynn's mom. I could go on and on with the list. I don't want to leave anybody out. The rest of the family. I thank God for my family. I thank God for my friends. Oh, I've got such a wonderful group of friends. I'm thankful for you today. I'm thankful for the friends that I've yet to meet. Oh, I'm thankful for that. If I've not met you, if I've not connected to you, I want you to know that I love you and that I'm thankful that you are in my life and will be in my future. And I'm thankful for all the things that God has blessed me with. I don't have enough time, enough video coverage to express all the things that God has done for me and that I'm really thankful for. But I'll just wrap things up and say this. Today, I'm thankful for First Pentecostal Church. Oh, that covers a lot of area. I'm thankful that God has allowed me to pastor. I'm thankful that God has allowed me to love. I'm thankful that God has allowed me to embrace all of you. And to those today that's watching, that's a part of our church, and the ones that will be watching, know that I deeply love you. Sister Lynn and I deeply love you, and we're so thankful that you are a part of our lives and that we are part of your life. Oh, I'm thankful for that. To all the ones that are watching that are outside of our church, I'm so thankful for you, that you took the time today to just come on and just share a Thanksgiving moment. We love you as a church. We are a church that cares about you, and we are a church that cares about others. And I want you to know today, in closing, that I love you and that I am thankful for you in my life. God bless you today. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving day and a wonderful Thanksgiving celebration.